Fnatic have the tower damage that they need yet?
Nope.
Okay. Potentially looking for Fnatic to grab that here.
No, that's their single biggest need as you go into the last year of the draft. I'd love to see them. Yeah, I know that, again, Kyle's going to blame the hell out of me for saying this because the Jug PA matchup is just brutal for Jug. But I'd love to see something like a Juggernaut. Just, forget the hero matchups. Just get something for MP that is strong in lane. He's going to be able to keep his farm up and can hit towers.
Jug is going to be banned. Is there anything else?
He's always banned for space.
Is there anything else though that can fill that role other than the Jug?
An easy hero.
Ease of execution. I've heard you guys say that quite a bit.
Ease of execution. There you go.
Yeah, I got your back. I'm not going to flame you like Kyle.
I'm just
even though
assuming it at this point.
If anyone's going to flame you and you're going to be able to shrug it off, though.
Just TB, right?
They could, yeah.
If you're Fnatic and it's not banned, use TB, you eat towers. You could even drow if you really wanted to get, fancy.
I was thinking about drow. It's really good against the Puck. They need a little bit more control besides
they actually ban the
respect.
Jesus. What am I seeing?
Respect MP. He had 2 in the last game. He was just getting warmed up.
The Fnatic's still gonna have the last pick, and they can kind of react to what the Dark's here. All right, so they have a way better combo in this game.
Yep.
Again, no single target spells besides Dagger and Sven's stun. But all right, looking way better for J-Storm in this one.
I agree. Although I think either of the picks we mentioned here for Fnatic are brutal.
But already, we have progress. Last time, Lacoste did not like what J-Storm had at their disposal at all. Now, Fnatic, if they get that tower damage, they get that siege damage, maybe.
Surely TB just ruins you. I mean, yeah, okay, you got Puck with this combo. If he goes Dagon, that can threaten, but oof. I guess Wall really bothers you, TB.
You're picking Darks here into Brewmaster again.
I don't.
You can just dispel those illusions.
Exactly. All right. It is better. I looked at J-Storm's lineup in the last game and was like, no, it's better than the last game.
I feel like we have this phenomenon that I'm just starting to notice on the analyst desk where we watch the draft and you go, yeah, it's fine. They got everything that they need. And then the second we're not live, you're like, man, idiots.
Well, you can't. I mean, you can't anti-hype, right?
Like, just slow.
Choose your hero.
All right, that's not okay. That's not what I thought they were going to do, but that is probably MP's best hero in his career.
Yeah.
And Weaver, he is an excellent Weaver player. He's very stable on that hero. It gives you the tower damage. I love it.
Well, yeah, that seems fantastic, right? You just said MP had a rough game. Get him comfortable.
I was thinking about Weaver, but against Puck, against Grimstroke, 2 silences.
You would not ordinarily see it picked into Puck, but I think that's all about you have your one player that just had a seriously rough game. You prioritize getting him on a comfort hero.
Get him comfortable. Let him get back into the game. And also, you do have the wiggle room here. It is a best-of-3 series. If this game doesn't go perfectly to plan, you still do have another one. They have every advantage that they need right now. Is MP going to get comfortable? Are they going to be able to take this in 2-0 fashion? We're about to find out.
I think we've learned our lesson from game 1 of this series. Whenever you think the game is going to go one way, it's going to go the opposite. So even with this draft, it does feel like J-Storm have a lot better sync than they did last time. Grimstroke has options to work with, multiple silences, multiple combinations.
And the 10th pick from Fnatic wasn't nearly as devastating as it was in the previous game. Weaver against PA, Puck, Sven, Grimstroke. There's so
burst damage during
silence,
the silence
burst.
Yeah,
it also doesn't do that same type of damage where, Forev is going to, I'm praying here, Toby. Neither team had a Vlad's last game. Neither team had a Vlad's. And I'm a caster. I don't know anything. But I know that has not happened in this tournament, I don't believe. Yet.
That
item is so good.
That in a game that no team has picked up a Vladimir's?
JJ, hit me with that stat, because I think that might have been the first time.
Yeah, we'll take anything, JJ. Throw it to us somehow.
Yeah, but this game certainly looks better for J-Storm, just based on their the way the draft looks, right? You got a Darkseer vac into a March stun. You got a ton of damage output. It just looks good, and there's no Timbersaw. There's no hero that's just going to be able to march down lanes, nigh indestructible. So,
but you haven't said from Fnatic this Chaos kind of lineup. So that's what the Brewmaster is all about. He's the Chaos initiator. He does the initiation off, and then you're able to get your split. If you can get that split, then J-Storm may have a couple of problems in the fight. Remember, there's also the Earth Spirit, better rotations early on. This won't be that static laning phase that we kind of felt previously. They've got that roll-in initiation. Maybe with the combinations of silences, Puck may... Actually, I say combinations of silences. There's actually really not that many. Puck is actually really easy to move around in this game.
Yeah. And Bryle did play great in this previous game, even though he was on the losing team. Very rarely would you say that a loser's the MVP, but I think Bryle definitely played the best.
He totally was. Like that game one, in so many ways, should have been J-Storm's. After Fnatic didn't breach the high ground early on, like, okay, this is definitely the way it should be. Are they actually going to trade off 3 bounty runes for 1? Because no one's up on top lane apart from Darkseer.
Nice.
Also, keep in mind the fact that Darkseer is playing the safe lane. So this is the one time you won't actually see Darkseer pulling the wave over to a side camp. This is going to be a straight one-on-one matchup of Dark versus Brew.
I like it because PA really hates laning against Brewmaster, especially if there's a Lich with him. And that means that you've got Brew, who would just be trading in his own safe lane against Darkseer, and all of a sudden Earth Spirit, he can gank mid and top and potentially find kills. But this is just a better situation for J-Storm. Weaver versus PA, you're pretty confident with this, and Lich, or well, specifically Earth Spirit, not a huge fan of having a tri-lane. He wants to get active.
Yeah. He wants to move in. He wants to actually try and gank up in mid lane and work with Arbed, because that's the other fun lane to watch, is that mid lane, Bryle versus Arbed. Bryle kind of actually just missing the max range rift damage onto Arbed.
To be fair, though, this is very similar to what VP did in their games against, or LGD did against Earth Spirit, where you make sure that your mid hero is formidable, hard to take down. That can be because you have somebody really tanky and fat, like a DK, or you have a Puck, where if you don't have that perfect combination and a couple levels on Earth Spirit, which he's not going to get in a tri-lane, you won't be able to take him out.
Well, there's your Frost Shield going to work against March, but it's also was man. You went Stormbot level 1, so they don't have the War Cry, they don't have that extra life, but because you're looking for the chain stuns, you're looking for the control, you're ensuring there's no pull. DJ as well as Jabs are pretty committed to this, so we end up having support combo. Like I feel like we're rinsing and repeating from game 1. It's literally the same camp that both teams are fighting over.
Deja vu.
Yep.
But we've actually been here before. Very recent.
Now the next thing we have to do is have Arbed massively attack into Bryle and then die underneath the tier 1 tower. And we're redoing it. ES will TP in towards mid. He's hit level 2, and Arbed is really low. A rolling boulder forward doesn't actually get the connection into the Puck. And there is no follow-up after that, which means now this bottom lane from J-Storm can get very aggressive against the Weaver.
He did salve Abed to preserve Abed's own salve, so that will help him out in the lane. And bear in mind, he's skilled the silence on Earth Spirit, so he's
going bottom,
aiming for that Puck kill.
Where was the... Oh, he already committed Stormbolt.
Oh, they're going back on again mid. I don't know if you have the damage here, even with the 2-second silence.
Banish. This time they will be able to connect with the silence, and orb away to safety, back up. And the courier just brought in its tangos as well as Mango. So he's getting some regeneration back. This top lane appears to be really difficult for Ice. It's 16-3 versus 6-1 on the Brewmaster. Yes, he's got a creep wave coming under the tower, but he's had a real hard time finding the last hits underneath the tower because he has to walk in range of the Iron Shell burn.
I'm not sure if this matchup... I mean, I know this is a Darkseer favorite matchup for the initial few levels, but I don't think it's this bad. This is a very well-played matchup by Forev. This is maybe 60-40, but it's certainly not this sort of disparity. He's doubled them up.
It has to be because he's just underneath the tower, right? Like, Ice is 61 damage, is having a hard time finding any of the last hits against Forev.
So weird. It's something you used to see way back in the day, like that post-TI 5-6 meta where Darkseer was just always in these 1v1s. But we just haven't had a tri-lane meta in so long. I feel like a lot of these matchups and little quirks have been forgotten.
That's how Dota normally changes around.
Yeah.
Brawl, he'll be safe. It's the fact that like you forget the old school counters, and of course, does the old school counters even work? The patches change so much of Dota that it's difficult to know if something that worked 3 years ago in the tri-lane versus tri-lane meta can actually be applied to the current game of Dota.
Got a really nice game thus far from J-Storm. Mu is CSing very well, and he is once again the win condition for the side. Should have a much easier time finding a foothold in this game, as they won't be losing 4 towers by 13 minutes again to an indestructible Timbersaw.
And MP's meant to be that big damage dealer for Fnatic. Like, you're not going to get it from the Brewmaster, he's control factor. OD's that I get damage later on once I build up my items and once I build up my intel. Invis may help him get the kill over on Bryle, as, he has no idea that ES will rolling boulder in. Sven, TPing in, and Bryle, really, back under the tower on 50 HP, already starts us out thanks to the Storm Bolt. He can get the Rift off, he'll phase shift, dodge the attack, so he even keeps regenerating through. The first blood spilt by Bryle onto DJ, the TP from March. It looked like it wasn't going to come in time, but it came in time.
Like I said, I question Fnatic's... they third picked Abed's hero again, and this game, instead of Ice, they last picked the MP hero, but I just don't see him as the guy you want to be 22 picking for, right? A Weaver? This is not the greatest matchup in this game. It doesn't really fill the need of the draft, and it just feels like a bit of a throwaway. I don't like this pick. And I think if Fnatic would edit their draft in the event this does go to Game 3, maybe I want to see them focus on Abed or Ice. These seem to be the superstars. MP, you can give him the throwaway. Like, pick him Void first too, no problem, like eHome's blown apt to do.
You help him by banning Void. I also just want to flag the fact that if Darkseer moved over to the Bounty Rune, maybe 2 seconds earlier, he would have got the bottle and would have been able to pick up the 5-minute Bounty Rune. It was not grabbed. I think there are almost no games in this tournament where we haven't seen like the level 1 bounties all being collected. Mu needs some space to be created. Fear is trying to do so, as ES is the one diving underneath the tower, and they could dive now after Fear. Mu is back in relative safety. Support was rotating in from the side, but March was just a little bit too far away. And ended up just stealing the Arcane Rune and running away from DJ, trying to use the cover of night to find a kill.
Mid matchup still pretty even. We got a little bit of a skirmish in the jungle, but that's just March throwing out a stun, no problem. Top lane.
Barev's doing the pull now.
Yep. I like the build too. I think Boots, Bottle, Soul Ring, a lot of build up, but in this kind of laning phase, I like it. Just because it means that he can farm it as efficiently as possible without
going again on mid. Abed got up the hill, kicked away, which means he also kind of snapped a bit. But March,
Radiant's top tower is
well, as Bryle just unable to get the kill secure. Enough support, both supports coming into mid lane to protect their OD, ensuring he has as best lane as possible. And OD is 4th on the net worth. He is pretty equal. He's about 100 gold net worth, the difference between the puck. There's the top 2 net worths, I think, is the scarier thing. Darkseer at 3,300, 3k on the PA, and Weaver, you're going further down the list to find him at 2.5.
I'd like to see him go for an offensive build on the Darkseer. He's queued up the pipe. I'd much rather see like almost the tied items we've been looking at, like Vlad's medallion. I like HOD a lot in this game.
You actually group up for a fight. Like, 'cause if you get Vlad's, you just iron shell the PA right, and then you start your fights.
It's also more of an aggressive build, right? Pipe is nice, but what's it for? The Earth Spirit Lich ultis, I get that, but I feel like that could be something conserved for the 3rd or 4th item choice, so that you pick something up now that helps your team claim objectives. And
they're going to try and kill MP on bottom lane. Silences are out. There's a 2-man smoke also moving in, but if they have enough stuns, they'll just kill Weaver straight out. That's exactly what happens. Sentry Ward was planted, and March and Brow's rotation, they really wanted to be involved, but they're too late to the party.
And props to Fear. I mean, they pick him Grimstroke pretty much whenever available. Does know how to play the hero. Love the skill build this game. Put the second point into silence. I appreciate it, because I think against a Weaver, against an OD, against Earth Spirit, against all of the heroes of Fnatic, like long silences are key. And that's what's actually going to help you find those kills.
Alright, so Fnatic are now the ones who have to try and steady the lanes. This PA is getting well out of control. That late Battle Fury timing ain't gonna come. He's got 2 Wraith Bands and the Treads by 8.5 minutes in, and now he starts itemizing towards the Battle Fury.
There's a much better game for Moo, and based on the way these teams played last game, I'm starting to really favor J-Storm. Now, the OD, once again, Abed is the key for his squad. It's just a difficult game. We saw, even though Moo had a really rough time in the previous game, he was still able to kill him through BKB even, and just a couple of crits. And you have that same scenario here.
That's just actually going to find this fight in mid. Also flag the fact that it's a Dominator build. Like, what are we...
Nice. On who? Drew?
Yeah, he's just...
That's the new boots.
That's the new boots?
Yeah.
Okay.
Phase boot.
Cool. So he is... I was worried about it. He does have 2 of the items for the Dominator, that's why I was quite...
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it, but yeah, I like phase. You want to look to start some fights early. I really enjoy the Sven pick from J-Storm, and I know that that's something they've been doing a lot, but I'm much more a fan of it when March is on the hero. I think that Grimstroke Sven in particular is their best support duo, and I feel like this is J-Storm's comfort zone, and Fnatic effectively just handed it to them. This is what I hate to see. If you're a Fnatic fan, you've got to be a little worried when DJ just hasn't managed to find game impact.
Oh, the fight in mid. Bryle looking for this solo kill onto the OD. He knows he can't snap the Dream Coil, or else he will die, but that's why Darkseer actually kicked closer by the ES, allowing him to come to this fight, and with the Storm Bolt, maybe they have the damage. Puck being pulled in by that Sinister Gaze, but now another banishment. Bryle's in very deep. Does he have an escape? No, he does not. The clap is there for the Brewmaster, and support just comes in droves from Fnatic.
Yeah, I think if 4F TP's there to get the Ion Shell on March, that's going to go a little bit better. He instead connects all the way from top lane, and now is going to run all the way back. So, not ideal. They do only lose the 1 hero, but it is Bryle. He's the playmaker at this point, but you're fine, I think. Jace, you got Moose still just hard free farming.
Oh, Moo. Initiated on by Ice. Spear's going to be here. Moo hoping for a crit to save his life, but hasn't happened. The stun will buy him a little bit more time. Still no crits. Rolling boulder forward from DJ. Kicking away Ice. Buying him the time and even the time to get the split off. This is the worst case scenario when you initiate on a Brewmaster, when he's able to get the split after soaking up all the abilities. They still want to kill off PA. Difficult to find, but the stuns are there. DJ, another rolling boulder forward. Just hold the PA in position, but there goes March into the northern side with a kick and the clap. Too much work. Ice comes back to his normal self. He may die for this, but he's already got the big kill he was looking for. It's the Phantom Assassin down.
That was really well played by Fear and Moo, just spamming out those silences. Moo with a little, just not enough trust in his teammate though. He hesitated on that leap forwards. If he finally did get that crit on a couple of attacks, he would have been able to land the kill before Ice got that split off. March not positioning himself perfectly, a little too close. Wavered a bit, and that leap from Moo was just not far enough to get away from that clap after split ended. Well played from both sides. 4F does TP down, but a bit late. They do find the kill. Top lane, however, you've got a free farming OD now entering that lane uncontested, and he will be going for a more offensive build this game. The Tranquils into the Kaya. I like this. This is Abed. You're your team superstar. You know, don't gimp yourself. 4-staff BKB, it's nice, but these games are gonna go late.
Yep.
Plan for it. Prepare.
I'm liking this with Moo. Iron Shell him up. He's got a double damage rune. A Dire Observer Ward. Saw DJ for a moment. He wants to jump. He doesn't want to waste this DD timing by farming up camps. Reveals himself by doing it underneath that Radiant Obs, and you're already seeing ES in a very defensive position. Same for MP.
But they know, like, no one's showing middle, and the puck is top. There's something fishy, and Fnatic knows it.
4 heroes from VGJ on bottom lane. Very heavily telegraphed. Bed will not move to the mid.
The ward, by the way, in the lane does help them. It's not just a guess. They kind of see him wandering through the woods.
Yeah. Moo's actually just going to go jungle now. He's, okay, was he? Or was he just trying to stack? That's what. And actually failed the stack. Timing was a little bit off.
That's okay.
Interesting move by Forev. Actually, he puts down the wall, gets a copy of the Weaver, and then almost killed the courier with it.
And this, just I mean, since we have a bit of a downtime, like, acceleration, Toby, it's so key in this patch. And when you do things like 4ev is walking around, he had his great start, and now he's got a hood, he's going to be rushing pipe. I just wish he had something that enabled him to pressure the map more. He could have had HOD at like 8 minutes.
Yep.
You're trying to push this tower, you could have a catapult. If you want to play this way, away from your team.
And that was something we saw Faith Beyond running yesterday. Top lane, the silencers, as well as the chain stuns, make it very difficult for Ice to find this, in fact, impossible.
Yep, Fear with the perfect build. 1 point Stroke of Fate, 3 point Silence, 2 points as well.
Now we'll see if that Hood's able to save him. He starts his surge, but Sinister Gaze pulls him back in, wastes a lot of the time, but even the Chain Frost, they want to find this kill. Ferev continues to run up, but the Magnetides, another rock placed down, and Ferev will tick out. All that sustainability seems to count for naught. Maybe Moo can get a revenge. No, Yams is already beginning his TP away.
Hey, make some space though. Bryle already with the blink. Skip the Veil this time. Right choice. There's not nearly as much magic damage. You replace the Venomancer with a Darkseer. So he's just going to go for that Blink bots build and do what he did last game. You know, just spam, just push lanes.
Oh, they're going after Moo. Rolling Boulders with the kick back into the hammer. But then Warcry. Marsh tries to create some space. Bryle as well has Dream Call available. They're trying to give Moo a blink spot, and that's exactly what happens. But the ult from Arbet follows through. Bryle still is very uncertain. He wants to fight this, but with the Weaver arriving, he'll get the bugs onto the Punk. This makes it very difficult to use that blink dagger of his. He'll have to get the Dream Call with the wall. They have some kind of combination, but Punk instantly brought back. He jumped onto the edge of his coil. That's why he's already back in the middle of this fight. Yeah, we're not going to forget this one. Then a rolling boulder forward. Grimstroke has nowhere to go. J-Storm committing heavily on the economy to try and win this fight. But it just ain't happening. So the run for the bounty runes begins. And all 4 actually go the way of J-Storm. I don't think that's enough to make up for what happened. And they're going to go for another kill. Stormbolt over on the Weaver. This intel of Arbet, 24 stolen intel. He hits so hard, they just want one target. March will present himself as Darkseer can surge away. Chain killing from Fnatic.
This is what you're looking for. You're supporting Fnatic. Arbet, #1 net worth. Scaling, looking good, and oh man, that's what I'm looking for too. Ice Slice with the Vlads, baby. That's what I'm talking about. And the tower denied. That's all because of the bonus 15% damage. You already know.
I don't think you actually realized I was trying to bait you a little bit more with the Dominator just to make sure. He's like, oh, he's not going to go Vlads.
No. The thing is, so that buyback, yeah, it's costly, but really, that one bounty rune, yeah, you pay for it with your own gold, but as a team, it's even if you just get that one bounty. So even though that was very Fnatic favored, the gold itself did not change. Experience, on the other hand, that's where you've got a bit of a worry, because all of a sudden the OD is level 13. Yep. Maxed out Orb, maxed out Astral, and he's got a Blink Dagger ready. Great choice from Abed. It allows him. This is pure offense. He's not that threatened. J-Storm not in a position where they're really looking to hunt at the moment.
Well, J-Storm are going to do it. Bottom lane is where the initiation comes in, but it comes from Fnatic. They've already killed off Fear. Now they're moving forward with Warcry. They want to actually trigger everything they've got to find this kill, but it's over on an Earth Spirit. Earth Spirit for Grimstroke. Moo's here. He can't jump forward. They're not close enough to him. Now he can. And they do find the kill. This is Ferev trying to make the most of the pipe, but there's been no opportunity to really use it. Because there's a split push. Ice is forcing in the top lane. OD actually took a tower in mid lane.
Check out the items as well. Ice is buying a Midas. If he gets this tower, he'll have enough gold for it too. And you got to be concerned. This is a different take from the last game. Fnatic, my man Dubu wants to roll.
They're coming in. MP runs in through the back. He didn't actually start off with a swarm, which is kind of surprising. The Chain Frost doesn't bounce over. It only hits Ferev once, but they have the stun. They have the control. Ferev, the whole surge has just been weighted. He'll throw down a Darkseer wall, but it will not be able to help him at all. With Arbed rotating over, this is now going to be momentum shifting in to a tier 1 tower. And actually, they caught Grimstroke with the end of the Brewmaster ulti. He used the Storm Brewing to send Fear up into the air. 2 heroes gone. And J-Storm, with their itemization, they want to be stronger in these team fights, but they look to be so much weaker.
I've got to point, this is one of the benefits of having a coach. I don't know what Dubu did, but all of a sudden Fnatic has completely, radically changed the way they itemize and most importantly, what timing I feel like they're looking to end the game. It's no longer 20, 25 minutes, they're perfectly fine going late. And sure, you're up against a PA. It could be troublesome, but all 3 of these cores are going to scale. They're going to ramp up fast.
I think you're very right. You look at MP's itemization, Diffusal Blade, and now he just is like, okay, I'm going to get Maelstrom after this.
Yeah.
We're just like, what did I fail in the last game? I have no damage. What am I going to potentially overcompensate for is now damage in this game. Moon trying to juke around the tree lines, not going to be possible. Abed building up too much intel underneath the Dire Shrine. Fnatic having this confidence with a Blink Dagger OD with Kaya. He is just always on the front lines.
Yeah, and this is, again, like I like the players on Fnatic. I think they're a great team. I just feel like they have the potential to be elite, and thus far in this season, they haven't really had that standout stellar performance.
Well, it's like you put an All-Stars lineup together. It's like, you know, these All-Stars need a function.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, like, they're All-Stars in their own roles. It's not like you've got that extra 1 position. There's not overcompensation, like, there's too many heroes that need farm, too many players that need farm in this.
Yeah,
like, they can make the most of nothing.
And they outplayed J-Storm that last game for the first 20, 25 minutes. The strategy from the American side was effectively, hey, we're going to wait in our base. And for a little bit, it seemed like it might work, but this is what I like. Look at the net worth on Abed. He's going to have a BKB about the same time he had it last game, but this time he's got that bonus item. And because you have the bonus item now, it means you'll have 2 bonus items in about 15 minutes. That's why you got to start saving for retirement now, kids. Don't wait until your 30s, all right? You will want to be on a beach when you're old and gray. So start putting away. You know, $20 even. $20 a month is a big deal.
I can recommend Australian beaches. There's cheap accommodation. Great place to retire.
$20 a month actually is not. Yeah, it's better than nothing.
You may need a little bit more than that. Maybe Australia is not your best place. Australia is actually a little bit more expensive to live in these days.
I mean, yeah.
It's like,
well, you know what my favorite toy was as a kid? A cardboard box. You can probably afford one of those.
My favorite. Oh no, I'll make everyone jealous if I say that. It was my backyard. My backyard was my favorite toy.
I don't want to think about growing up in Australia. It's too dangerous.
Natural selection. Only the best live through Australian youth.
Aren't kangaroos the most dangerous creatures too? Like
only if you're driving.
Like the deer of the southern hemisphere.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so this is the thing. A passive game now favors Fnatic a hell of a lot more than it did in the previous
But they still
one.
don't want to stop. They're going to get aggressive. They smirk up. They look for a fight.
I like again, they're not forced to do these things. I like that they're doing so, but it's nice because they aren't the ones pressured. They don't feel like they're on a clock. However, because they have that brute, because you have a BKB on OD, you're at a timing where you are the stronger lineup. You can assert dominance over the map, much like they did in that first game.
And they're hunting for it. DJ just needs the spot, rolling border forward. He'll reach close to Fear, but not right on top of him. He'll still get the magnetize, just shaking the ears of March and the Chain Frost. They want to split up, but it's going to bounce up into the creep wave as well. There's a counter silence into the ES. So Fnatic, it wasn't the initiation they were really looking for, and they will fall back. Weaver needs to kind of de-push the bottom lane.
Yep.
And that's a big cooldown. Magnetize down for the ES now gives J-Storm the confidence to move forward
Courier's got OD's BKB on it. You do not want to take this fight until it's acquired.
Oh, then again, they found the puck. Jump down. Man, destroyed. Gotta remember just how hard a Brewmaster can actually hit with just his base damage, but it's that brawler. Critical chance of 80%, the critical damage of 260 on someone who has 145 damage, 136 damage, sorry.
Moo right now is going for the Desolator. He is not going to have a BKB, so if you're a Fnatic, I think you might want to recognize this and know, like, this is your target. 1,200 health, you go for Roche, you know that J-Storm is not able to fight, and this time, look at it, we got Weaver, we got Minus Armor, we got a Vlad's. Like, this is a lot faster.
You notice that MP changed his build?
What he turn it to?
He's going for BKB.
I don't mind that here because you're at a point where you're strong. You're going to outscale and you're strong enough to go find fights. And if you look at the lineup of J-Storm, what do they have to puncture BKBs with the exception of Moo's damage, who you've got to assume will be the Fnatic target?
Yeah.
And also Lich. Like, Lich is just the ultimate anti-carry support. 60% reduction on that physical damage. Like, it's going to be very difficult for them to find a kill, even if they do land that crit.
This is like kind of weird though. Like OD is showing himself up on top. So if J-Storm felt like they wanted to fight, they could go that way. But J-Storm, they don't have Darkseer with them. They don't have their teamfight initiator. And I kind of put it on him. It's not just on Braille, who still wants to get his Heal Scepter before he fights. J-Storm are just a little bit short of the money to get these critical items to feel more confident in the fight. So because the push from OD, they just rotate top, and these will be 2 tier 2 towers dropping after the Aegis the Immortal.
And it's
already picked up.
Even though they take the towers a little slower than the previous game, it still feels better. You feel that there's a flow. Fnatic, they controlled the map in the last game, but it didn't feel like they knew what to do with it. Whereas now, it's just nice. And J-Storm, you're not out of this by any means, but you're still a ways away from that Phantom Assassin BKB. I think if you're Fnatic, look for a smoke move, try and catch someone off guard, find that kill. Puck down in the Astral Plane with no orb.
MP, silence up on top. You're also going to get the kill on Puck in the mid lane. If Weaver could survive this, remember he's still got the Aegis Immortal, but he wants to time-lapse off so much of the damage. Darkseer wall is gone.
Yeah, you just
Puck
push.
is gone. This is, you go up.
You've got split, remember.
Brewmaster has a BKB coming in on the courier too. So even if they want to try and kill off Ice, he can ensure he gets his split.
Yeah, and that means he's able to zone now for so long. He can pop BKB and then later the split.
It's the rolling boulder coming forward. They turn on the Magnetize, combining with the Chain Frost. No way for J-Storm to walk away from the fight. They're even tipping in the middle of the engagements. Sure, Jabs. They will take this top. They'll take the top lane of Rax. Nothing should stop this. PA does not want to join the fights yet. You still haven't even finished up the Desolator, and in fact, wait, he's switching back in for a BKB. Oh, he's got the Desolator on the Courier. He needs to TP back and pick that up.
It's just crisp game for Fnatic. They're making it look easy right now. That melee Rax is dead.
PA is still not here. It is 4v very farm, and even the BKB from OD. He'll dodge anything they throw their way. Brewmaster hasn't even committed the split yet. He crits down the Puck, who's dead again, and PA joins the fight and then instantly dies. Exploded by the hammer of OD. Is this even the full game now? They're falling apart at VGJ Storm. What has happened?
Abed's got a meteor hammer. That's what's happened.
Lacoste will be happy.
They are not concerned any longer. And this is the Fnatic I expect to see when I show up to cast some goddamn Dota 2. Thank you. Here we go.
Aggressive jump forward, getting in the front of it. Even the rolling boulder, the stun time with the meteor hammer, perfectly combated against Fear. Abed's got 40 stolen intelligence. He doesn't care about Darkseer illusions. You don't need Brewmaster to dispel this crap. You just need Abed to just beat through all of them, kick back in the Darkseer. He'll go down. Maybe now you should start dealing. Stop walking through the wall, guys. March still wants to try and fight. They're ignoring him. He's actually just walking with them. Ice was doing objective-based Dota in the meantime. Now the OD will fall, and Fnatic, okay, you've overcommitted. You just gave a double kill to Moo. Over 1.2k gold from this. They still took a lane and a half worth of frags, melee on both of them. Ice is in a little bit of trouble. He needs to create some space for his Brewmaster to get away, and then he's able to do so.
You know what Fnatic hit? You know what I love? They hit a timing, Toby. They had 3 BKBs that all came online within 2.5 minutes of it. They have an Aegis, they've got a Vlad's, they go high ground. You can't kill anyone because you don't have a BKB on your core, and there's no damage to threaten anyone on the side of Fnatic once they pop that magic immunity. And all of a sudden, Fnatic is unstoppable. They get the 2 racks. It took them twice as long to do that in the previous game, and this is what I want to see them do when they go forwards in the tournament against harder matchups. Not to say this game is over, of course. Anything could happen.
It really could. That's why I'm kind of worried. Like, we were there in game 1. We were being a little bit negative because we're like, okay, this game looks dumb. We don't see a way back.
That game was dumb. All right, I'm sorry. I got to call it like it is. That was a rough game of Dota, okay? There were a lot of questions I'm asking.
But this game is there seems to be more smooth stuff, and that's why I'm worried about like Fnatic giving away these kills. They actually gave the money to Mu to have the BKB. It's coming on the courier now. A Yule Scepter on the puck. They actually managed to find the money on Bryle. Then they smoke. They want the initiation. Ice comes in close. He blinks. He claps. Instantly BKBs and J-Storm in the middle. Now with a Chain Frost. Marsh, he'll back away and at least get rid of this. But the Darkseer Wall's almost nothing. But it's the damage to come in from Mu. He almost killed off the OD, but he can't jump over to him. Not while the BKB's up, and the Eclipse hits it with the Storm Bolt. The Mu jumps up with the cleave damage. He's doing heavy damage to Fnatic, but they've still only killed off the Lich. They need more. ES will Rolling Boulder away. Okay, he stuck around way too long with the Meteor Hammer, trying to hit with that. And it's 2 heroes now for VGJ Storm. Mu still needs to be big with the follow-up stun. He'll go down, and they really threw everything they had. Fear is the sole survivor. There's some revenge to come in with 3 heroes dying, but interesting choice to let the Meteor Hammer go. MP's damage, it reigns true and supreme at the end of the day.
This is because Fnatic, you have 3 cores. You have 3 ways to deal massive amounts of damage. You can see Ice, he blinks into 5, pops BKB, and they have to just ignore him completely as he wreaks havoc on the backlines. You have a buyback on Fear, but
it's the opposite of game 1 from Fnatic. We got all this damage as opposed to we got all this survivability.
It's amazing how much
itemization can make you good.
Offense.
And then they can even find the double damage rune that's sitting in bottom river and give that to MP. It's not going to be them pushing high ground. In fact, the next timing you're probably going to be starting to think about is Roshan, who's a minute and 15 seconds away from potential spawn time. They've already taken the tier 2 tower on bottom. They got 1 more shrine to remove. This will ensure that VGJ Storm, there is no buybacks that will help contest Roshan. They don't have him anyway because they're short of money or it's on cooldown.
And to go to the 10th pick Weaver, I said why I don't like it at the start of the game, why I like it. It is MP's best hero, and it hit the timing. That's the key. Yes, in the mega late game, an Abyssal PA could theoretically just crit you to death, right? But if you're able to threaten high ground and consistently fight with your team at this 20 to 25 minute mark, you are a beast.
They're coming to fight. Radiant scan. They understand that no one's coming down. They're going to wrap around the top instead. J-Storm in the cover of this smoke. And DJ, he's sitting on the tree lines. He wants to break the smoke himself. No, he'll Rolling Boulder up. But eyes do turn towards Roshan. Still 20 seconds before he potentially can spawn. Park.
Obi-Wan's on the high ground, Toby. I don't know how this ends.
Oh, that BKB. Ice. Instantly pumping in towards March. They orb themselves away. Mu, he wanted to actually jump in. He was using the stun that was from Grimstroke, but he never got it off. DJ will Rolling Boulder in. The defensive imprisonment from Abed will buy more time and just flagged himself. They want to go for the kill. DJ Rolling Boulder out. The back won't pull him back in. In fact, DJ does get up the hill and then, well, he'll die. Buybacks there, but Abed built up so much intelligence. The hammer drop, it hurts so hard, and the PA has almost no life. In fact, it is no life. Gets immolated down by Ice. Jump forward, Rolling Boulder, no stun, will not be able to reach the retreating VGJ Storm players. Fear will get his own TP out. Blind, off target. But top lane, that's the one that counts. Bryle down, Mu down. J-Storm won't be able to contest Roshan, even though he's a long spawn timer. Maybe Fnatic just go up high ground.
And the thing about it, this game, J-Storm, you're in a position, like, you don't have a GPM talent on 4Ev. You've got a pipe and a mech, and yeah, that's great, but you're not scaling. You're not going to finish another item before this game ends, most likely. And yeah, you can sit in your base, but Fnatic, you've got a lot more DPS this time, and they look ready to close this out.
And they can beat through these buildings really quickly. Like, the damage from the Weaver is already ridiculously good. And they just got to keep the creep wave pushed through in the mid. Very easy to do when they got the bigger creeps. And the top lane will come in too. They'll fortify, but that's a huge wave coming in through top. So Fnatic, they won't worry about this backdoor regeneration. It's only the fortification that delay the fight. Ice to be a frontliner with an extra plate mail on him. He's just so thick and tanky as this Brewmaster. A lot of padding for the winter. But now with the courier over the top of Roshan, they still don't want to go back. But they will. They'll give respect to J-Storm. Without Brewmaster split, they won't take the fight.
Yeah, 18K, 32 minutes in. The right play from Fnatic. You're at a point where if you play properly, you will win the game. You can only throw, right? So kill the shrines, wait for next stages, push a couple lanes, go bottomless 5 once you finish all your core items. This is the way you close it out. You want to be an elite level team. And in the meantime, Roche isn't up. We'll just camp high grounds. It worked last time. It'll continue to work. This is all you got to do. Look at the positioning. Once still, ice, ice, ice. Now with the plate mail as well, you're not going to kill him. And this is all you've got to do.
Yep.
Just chill.
Wait for him to come. In fact, they're not even looking to do Roshan. They don't want to be caught out in the pit. J-Storm will have to walk underneath this Radiant Observer ward. They bought the gem on Fear to try and get some extra information. Oh, that silence from Ryle. A little bit too far out. Nice gets a 3-man climb into BKB. The Darkseer wall committed very early on. They'll try and get rid of the illusions. It's just rolling Boulder away. Up to safety, up to the hill, the Dream Call, catching 3. But where's the follow-up? The triple stifling daggers all get wasted on the Brewlings.
Yep.
They don't have the team fight anymore.
You can't fight into this lineup.
They find Sven, drop him down. March just gets obliterated. Everyone was there. Even the MKB is completed over on the Weaver, so they'll add that up and stop walking through Darkseer walls. Look for a different target. Farev may be it. Brewmaster set him up. Jabbed is low, but there goes. You hammer down. Moo will BKB, but he lost 80% of its life before he even got that off. Farev is running back underneath his tier 4 towers. The only safe place he feels, but MP's got the distance, but he doesn't have the speed. Puck is keeping the creep wave out in mid. DJ is looking at him. He's not even casting an ability. Bryle is dropping items, trying to force him to fight underneath the creep wave. That's his null talisman. And DJ's doing the same thing. You want this? You can't have this. Bottom lane's going down in the meantime. At least there's a little bit of crap and giggles coming in. But with the Chain Frost and the pullback, MP and Jabs easily pull it off. Now back to the fight. Puck, well, okay, he was back and then he was gone. Moo's looking for damage, not available. MP is a triple kill, and GG, well played. Fnatic will 2-0 the series. They managed to knock out J-Storm during the KL Major 2-1. This one, it definitely wasn't as clean, but on the scoreboard it will be cleaner. 2-0.
And you can see a lot